Guys, it's been almost 5 years since I talked about this story, and it really doesn't even seem like it's been that long. And that was roughly about when I started on this particular channel and building up our content for the AFC. And I feel like I owe it to XXX in his memory to not only give an update so more people from a diverse audience can hear more about the details of the story and what happened to him that may not be familiar. But it was actually one of our bigger live streams. It was actually our biggest live stream. We had like 11,000 people watch live. I'm very, very thankful. And so, like I said, I wanted to kind of present an update with this story. But before we get into it, and before we talk about the individuals that you guys see on my screen, and I'm actually now a fan of one of them. This guy right here, I'm actually a new fan of his for a reason that you might not, offensive and controversial, that you might not realize. So let me give you guys a quick disclaimer before we get started. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And for those who are watching right now, if y'all would do me a favor and hit that thumbs up, it'll share this video and let more people know where they're watching the story. So if y'all would please hit that thumbs up. So I'm getting this story from lawandcrime.com as an update. So thank you, Law and Crime. They always do a good job. And it's been almost 5 years since up-and-coming rapper by the name of Jahseh Onfroy, better known as XXXTentacion, was shot to death in his BMW while leaving Riva Motorsports motorcycle shop in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The singer and songwriter, who's known for his hit Sad, which is actually probably my favorite song of his, was only 20 years old at the time of his death back in June 18th of 2018, and it doesn't even seem like it's been that long. The defendants, I think I can get all of them on the screen here. Let me get some of these guys up here. Defendants Michael Boatwright, who's 27 years old, Dietrich Williams in the middle, who's 26 years old, and Trayvon Newsom, who's 24 years old, are all facing life in prison if convicted. Now, opening statements are expected on Tuesday, and Law and Crime will have live coverage of court proceedings throughout the trial. So you guys can definitely make sure to subscribe to Law and Crime on their YouTube channel as well as their website. Make sure and follow it there. Each defendant is charged with first-degree murder and is being held without bond. Boatwright faces additional charges of robbery with a firearm. Michael has been living under this terrible accusation for over 4 years. We're looking forward to a jury finally seeing the truth and clearing his name, according to his attorney. I don't think that's going to happen, though. An eyewitness placed 2 masked gunmen described as black males at the scene of at the time of the incident. The defendants are accused of blocking the rapper's exit from the parking lot with an SUV before getting out of the vehicle and shooting Onfroy. Williams is also charged with robbery with a firearm and operating a vehicle without a valid license. Newsom faces additional charge of robbery with a deadly weapon. A fourth defendant, 26-year-old Robert Allen, which is that man right there, has agreed to testify against the others. That is a revelation in itself. I want y'all to catch that. I'm going to say that again. Robert Allen, who initially I was cracking all kind of jokes on him because I was really just mad about this whole thing and the way it went about. But now I'm a fan of his because especially if he's going to just be honest and be real and tell us what actually happened in this story. And like I said, in a lot of these times, you really don't know what happens until somebody talks. And I just don't know whether it's something religious in him, whether something, just ticking on his heart saying like, man, I got to do the right thing. And what we did, we were young, we made a mistake. And I don't want to live with this on my conscience. I totally respect that. Because like I say, this man's life was taken, who worked hard to earn what he had, did it legally, made music, earned money, And he had every right to be able to go and take some money and go buy what he wants. We all have choices in life. We all have an opportunity to go out and be rappers or work or make a business. But I don't think that makes it right for anybody to just come in and just say, you know what? I don't want to work for it. I'm going to just go take what you got. I'm sorry. I don't respect that. I will never respect that. And I think that if they are guilty of what they are accused of doing, they deserve everything that they got coming to them. But he's agreed to testify against the others. He's already pled guilty to second-degree murder and robbery with a firearm, and he's scheduled to be sentenced on February the 23rd, which is actually earlier today. But I'm not going to look up and see what he was actually sentenced. It don't matter right now. The masked vigilantes then proceeded to take a Louis Vuitton bag with $50,000 in cash from the victim's car before making their escape, prosecutors said. A Bank of America teller confirmed a cash withdrawal in the amount of $50,000 was made by the rapper earlier that day before heading to the motorcycle shop with friend Leonard Kerr. The defense plans to focus on other people with potential motives to kill the victim, including members of Onfroy's family, which is... that's callous in itself to even say that. Several artists, including famed rapper Drake, yes, y'all heard that right, had been listed as potential witnesses in the trial. So Drake's name came up, which was even wilder. The victim himself had his own set of charges stacked up against him and was set to stand trial for domestic abuse before his untimely death. The late rapper was rapidly gaining popularity, landing an American Music Award for a favorite soul and R&B album in 2018, and later a Billboard Music Award for a top R&B album in 2019. But like I say, once a person passes away, all of that stuff that was pending goes away, so it don't even matter at this point. But let me give you guys the fair usage. I want to show you a couple news videos. Here we go. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And if you guys would, if y'all are watching this, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. There's also some allegations of the man right there on the right-hand side of them threatening him, harassing him for telling the truth about what happened here. So I want y'all to hear about that also, about witness intimidation.
Today in the murder trial of rapper XXXTentacion, the witness called to the stand has already pleaded guilty and is now turning on his alleged accomplices. Local 10's Ian Margol is live at the courthouse with it all.
Who is the individual that stands back, steadies himself, pointed with the rifle at the victim's head right now?
Day 2 of the murder trial for 3 men accused of killing rapper XXXTentacion. The jury hearing testimony from a 4th man who was allegedly involved but is now cooperating with the state.
Who are the 3 co-defendants that you were indicted with?
Michael Boatwright, Trayvon Newsom, and Dietrich Williams.
Robert Allen pled guilty in August to second-degree murder in exchange for acting as a witness for prosecutors. The other 3 men involved, Dietrich Williams, Trayvon Newsom, and Michael Boatwright, all face charges of first-degree murder for the robbery and shooting of XXXTentacion in June 2018. In court Wednesday, the jury watched surveillance of the entire incident that day as the rapper, whose real name is Jose Onfroy, tried leaving Riva Motorsports only to be cut off and then robbed at gunpoint before being shot several times.
As he's grabbing the bag, shots are fired.
Who shoots the shots that are fired?
Michael Boatwright.
And who does he shoot?
Triple X.
If you want more on the life and death of XXXTentacion.
And back here at home, testimony continues today in the trial against 3 men accused of killing South Florida rapper XXXTentacion. Local 10's Ian Margol joins us live now from court in Fort Lauderdale with much more. Ian.
The state is continuing to make their case during this trial today. Actually, both of the lead investigators in this case are taking the stand, walking their jury through all of the evidence.
Mr. Williams fanning out multiple $100 bills.
In court Tuesday, prosecutors playing Instagram videos of Dietrich Williams showing off thousands of dollars in cash. Williams is one of the 3 men now on trial for first-degree murder for allegedly robbing and killing rapper XXXTentacion back in 2018. The detective on the stand, Walter Foster, was a lead investigator on the case, and he says what Williams was wearing on the day of the murder helped identify him.
He was wearing like a white or gray tank top and some dark colored pants and some orange slides. Slippers.
Foster says these are those orange slides. The state says Williams spotted XXXTentacion at Riva Motorsports and went inside with a man named Robert Allen to make sure it was actually him. Then prosecutors say they went back to their car, and as the rapper tried to pull out of Riva, they cut him off, and that's when Michael Boatwright and Trayvon Newsome jumped out, robbed him, and shot him. Foster says they were able to trace Williams' cell phone before, during, and after the crime.
After the shooting, the phone now starts traveling back south towards Fort Lauderdale.
And right now, the other co-lead detective on this stand, the state, again, still making their case if they are eventually found guilty. These 3 men face up to life in prison.
Jurors in the XXXTentacion murder trial hearing graphic evidence from forensic experts today. Local 10's Ian Margol is live with more on the testimony. Ian.
Yeah, the state brought one of the lead detectives in this case as they continue building their case against these 3 defendants.
This envelope contains fingernail clippings, the medical examiner clippings from the victim at autopsy, and the victim's DNA standards.
Another day of testimony in the murder trial for 3 men accused of robbing killing rapper XXXTentacion.
And I hope you guys heard that, and I think I didn't have my volume on. But if you guys would do me a favor and hit that thumbs up. We want to have 1 thumb up for everybody watching. I'll try to cut that off on the replay. But if y'all would, hit that thumbs up. We want to have 1 thumb up for everybody watching. So take a moment. Please hit that thumbs up and share this video, okay? Thank you.
Back in 2018, Dietrich Williams, Trayvon Newsome, and Michael Boatwright watched on Thursday as the lead forensic investigator walked the jury through some of the evidence his team collected.
Does it appear that the defects in States 34 are coming from where it would be the left neck side, or the left neck of the victim, where gunshots would be if the victim was shot in the left part of his neck?
Both the sweater and the jacket support that.
The state also brought this woman to the stand. She works at a store where prosecutors suggested Dietrich Williams spent some of the money from the robbery.
While you were bringing up $800 worth of merchandise, was he asking you about additional merchandise? Yes.
So they should be wrapping up here shortly, but you can actually watch a live stream of the entire trial on our website, local10.com.
New testimony in the murder trial of South Florida rapper XXXTentacion. Today, a detective took the stand and spoke about disturbing cell phone video pulled from one of the suspect's phones. CBS 4's Naja Sherman is in the newsroom with the video. Naja?
Lauren, a detective testified that investigators traced one of the suspect's cell phones before and after the crime. He detailed what investigators discovered. The detective testified that investigators discovered the cell phone video on suspect Dietrich Williams' phone.
The first video that we're going to discuss, can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury the date and time that you perceived it to have been recorded?
That was the date of the homicide at 5:29 p.m.
It shows Williams fanning $100 bills and surrounded by money. And this video taken at 12:35 a.m. This time Williams appears to be in a car, also fanning $100 bills, smiling and singing. And in a third video in his bedroom, this time with a torch. The defense tried to cast doubt on what the jurors were seeing.
Whether it's even real, correct? Correct.
XXX was carrying $50,000 in cash in a Louis Vuitton satchel when he was murdered, money he obtained from a Coconut Creek bank. Prosecutors say he planned to use the money to buy a motorbike from the shop and made the case that the money in the cell phone video is from the robbery and murder. Detectives say the group shot and killed XXX outside a Broward County motorbike shop on June 18, 2018. Detectives arrested Dedrick Williams, Robert Allen, Trayvon Newsom, and Michael Boatwright for the murder. But only Allen pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and is a witness in the case. The others are going to trial. And if convicted, each of the men could be sentenced to life in prison. Live.
The three men accused of killing rapper XXXTentacion continues.
And today we are hearing more about the hours following the murder.
And this is where they're going to talk about the witness intimidation. So I want y'all to stand by for that. Here we go.
Ian Margol joins us live outside the courtroom in Fort Lauderdale with the latest. Ian.
The three men on trial are accused of robbing and then killing rapper XXXTentacion nearly 5 years ago. This is day 3 of testimony, and today we heard a second day of testimony from another man who was actually part of that robbery and murder that day, and he is now a witness for the state.
I heard him say, "He is working for the police, you're the po-po, you're working for the white man now."
Allegations of intimidation by one of the 3 men facing murder charges for allegedly killing rapper XXXTentacion. On Thursday afternoon, attorneys learned Trayvon Newsom yelled at the state's star witness as he was on his way into the courtroom earlier in the day.
When you were being escorted to the courtroom today, did you overhear any comments?
Yes,
What did you hear?
I heard that I was police. I work for the police. I'm doing a white man's job. And I'm a sellout.
Were you able to identify who it was that made these comments?
Yes,
Who made these comments?
Trayvon Newsom.
That witness is Robert Allen, the 4th man prosecutors say was there on June 18th, 2018. Allen pleaded guilty to second-degree murder back in August and is now serving as a witness for the prosecution in their case against Newsom, Michael Boatwright, and Dedrick Williams. On Wednesday, the jury got to hear him talk about what happened that day nearly 5 years ago and watch surveillance video of the entire incident. And then on Thursday morning, the state played a video from only hours after the shooting and robbery happened. The clip shows an accident the men were in while prosecutors say they were still driving the car they used for the robbery. And the jury did get to hear about that intimidation that Trayvon Newsom supposedly was yelling at Robert Allen this morning as he was walking into court while they were still in their holding cells. The jury heard that just a little while ago. Now defense attorneys are cross-examining Allen. We will keep you posted every step of the way in this trial. Live in Fort Lauderdale, I'm Ian Margol, Local 10.
So at the end of the day, this whole intimidation thing, you know, it's childish. You know, they don't really see the bigger picture of if we continue to keep doing this to ourselves. You know, we try to make it seem like police are bad and the big bad boogeyman, white man is bad. But I can present hundreds of stories just like this of black men taking the lives of other black men just because they have a little bit of something. And they take that little bit of something and they try to split it 4 ways. And I'm going to let you guys know this because I don't know if this is going to come out in the report or not. But some people actually speculate that they split the money, I think, like 3 ways, like $15,000, $15,000, $15,000, and then they turn around and gave, actually I go back, and gave him $5,000. And it's just like, can you think about, you going to throw your whole life away over $5,000, over $15,000? Or even if y'all all got $50,000 a piece, you just going to throw your life away for that? It's just really sad, man, that, you know, these type of individuals don't have any work ethic. They don't know how to earn. They don't care about earning. They're just like, you know what? They're just hounds out there. And if you have something, they're going to try to take it. And I just think that we need less of those people like that out on the streets, out in your communities. And people need to start stepping up and saying something. Don't get your foot caught in the shit and now you want to say something. Like, you should not be a part of this from the jump. But I can respect the fact that the young man is actually stepping up and speaking out and saying what actually happened. So hopefully all of this goes through the way that it's supposed to, okay? But we'll keep you guys probably posted when everybody gets sentenced at the end. That'll probably be the last update we do on this story, okay? But thank you for listening to the story of XXXTentacion. Thank you all the XXX fans who actually came over and supported us initially on this channel when we first started. We really didn't have a lot of people watching, but truly, truly thankful. And we'll make sure and catch you guys in the comment section, okay? Thank you.